drain us of our sort of vital energy and distract us from what is our purpose, you know. And purpose really is not about, like we were saying just before, it's not about earning a living. You've earned your life, and it's what you do with it. It really is what you do with it that counts. And it's the things that make you shine, like from your soul that shine, you know. There's nothing more rewarding, and people forget, you know, because we're so conditioned again when we go back to that, to the I, you know, that they forget what it's like when you give, you know. And to give makes you feel so fulfilled, doesn't it? Yeah. We won't include that one situation that happened in London, though. Not so much.
Oh, no. That must have been a benefit in some way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So you haven't done anything. We're all responsible for ourselves, aren't we? Yeah. Yeah. So today we're going to be working with a Krya, which is all about self-realization. It's a really nice one, actually. And even this word, this recognize, to recognize, to kind of put into place this importance of actually realizing that we are spiritual beings living this human existence. You know, we're always in search of, you know, soul meaningful things and how to connect with like higher energies when we are a higher frequency and energy. Sometimes we've just lost that lack of luster and purpose in our lives. So this is all about self-realization, this Krya. So if there's anything specifically in your life that you want to focus on, where you feel, you know, you need a little bit more clarity or realization, then just have that in your mind with that setting of intention for today's practice and class. And then I'm going to tune us in with the Adi mantra, which is the Om Namo Gurudev Namo. I bow before the eternal wisdom within me and within all creation. Bring the palms together, placing them at the sternum, elbows splayed out or resting on the rib cage. Eyes can be closed or open. We're going to take a big, deep inhalation into the belly. Exhale the air all the way out, so the navel's coming to spine. And then we're inhaling in again to begin. Om Namo Namo Om Namo Namo Om Namo Namo. Big inhalation in. Hold, then nourish this breath. Holding, squeezing from the root, so the rectum and the urinary muscles, and then exhale when you're ready, resting the palms facing up on the lap, eyes closed, just connecting in with that energy of the Adi mantra, this opening into what is the gut, the heart, the head, brain, this connection. Making this time for you today. And really setting an intention at this time, in this moment, to connect with what it is that you would like to recognize as part of your soul existence of being a human at this time in life. And then we're going to start, when you're ready, just batting the eyes, rolling the shoulders, taking any adjustments that you need to the neck. We're going to start with what we normally start with, which is our Sufi circle. So we really tap into what is known as this lower trinity. So you can do this cross-legged, or you can do it on your knees. You're going to inhale, come forward, so the chest comes forward. Exhale, come back, and really curving through the spine, really feeling into the body. So really working with your own body and what it feels it needs. Inhale forward, exhale back. Eyes can be closed or they can be open. And then we're going to change directions. Be nurturing, nourishing yourself in these circles. I like to imagine I'm staring a huge pot of my coccyx. Really working through the body, really homing in on those femur heads, the tops of the thighs, going into the acetabula of your pelvis, really connecting in with what is known as your femurs, those thighs, your legs, your intention, motivation, and what is your purpose, your pelvis. And we're just going to go back the other way again. The other way. Big inhalation into the belly. Exhale as you come back. And then we're going to bring ourselves center, take a big inhalation of breath, like we're drawing energy up from this root. Squeezing from the rectum and urinary muscles, sitting up nice and tall. Palms facing up, eyes closed or open. Exhale when you're ready. Just taking again a moment to really relax into those shoulders, taking some shoulder rolls if you feel you need to. And you may even wish to take some half moons to the neck, just really connecting in with the body. And coming into this second position, you can sit in a cross-legged position or kneeling. A really nice way to start. We're starting it with this breathing exercise, which we're going to attach wa, which is like wow, and then the words guru, and guru means transforming all darkness into light. So we're going to stretch the arms up. So we do this wow, through the mouth, and then we bring the hands in, guru, and the eyes can be closed or open. So stretching up, displaying those fingers wide, really reaching up, wow. And then hands down that central meridian. So that central energy line of the body connecting with the heart, guru, turning all darkness into light. So eyes can be closed, focused at the point in between the two brows. Stretch, expand. You may want to pull the arms back and open so you feel the stretch across the chest into those brachial nerves. And then guru. Working at your own pace. Guru. So this inhalation is on the down. Guru. On the exhale. Guru. 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 Two more. Hold, suspend this breath, hold it. So we squeeze in that rectum urinary, splay the fingers, hold for as long as comfortably possible, then bring the hands together in prayer and just hold it here, eyes closed. Just connecting in with that energy. And then taking the right hand to the chest and the left to the belly, we're going to be doing some connection with the breath, this connection to what we breathe in to believe. We breathe into our very existence. It is the breath that connects us to this life. So we're going to be doing these little sips of breath. So we're only going to do 4 inhalations, or you may wish to do 3. I like to think of like filling up a cup, where we go. So the belly really expands, and then we're going to blow it out through the mouth. So that navel comes all the way to the spine, and feel the sense of fully emptying the air from our bodies and that fully expanding in. So we're recognizing and reconnecting with the breath, this breath of life. Eyes can be closed, open, rolled up to the point that's between the 2 brows. And we're just going to switch this breath. So we breathe in through the nose in those 4 sips. And then exhale through pursed lips in 1. Fully emptying all air from the body. Two more. Fully exhale, and then inhale fully into the belly. 1 hold inhalation through the nose. Feel the belly expand out into the hand. Hold, suspend this breath. Squeeze rectum and urinary. Sit up nice and tall. Eyes roll towards the 3rd eye. Then exhale, let it go. Palms facing up on the thighs. Eyes closed or open. Just allowing for any sensations in the body, any energy to distribute where it needs to go. Feeling this connection to your breath. Breathing your life into existence, this recognizing this connection to your soul, the soul that you are and the experience you have in this body as a soul. This beautiful sensory suit that allows us to feel and experience this beautiful life. When you're ready, we're going to come on to all fours. And we're just going to do some cat-cows here. So we're going to have the knees underneath the hips, the hands underneath the shoulders. So when we're doing these cat-cows, we're going to be inhaling. Coccyx comes up towards the ceiling. The chin comes up towards the ceiling. And then we exhale. Chin comes in towards the chest, arching the back. So you can look at your navel here. So you really feel the stretch going into the spine. So we inhale, open up. Big inhalation into the belly. Exhale. And really work this cat-cow at your own pace. And again, this focus on this recognizing, this recognizing that this connection with breath and your life. We breathe to believe. Everything you believe, you perceive to be true. And it is the experience of this life you exist in. Just a few more here. Really feeling this connection with the body. Working from all the way to the crown of your head in this position. And then we're going to take a big inhalation in cow. So coccyx towards the ceiling. Head up. Hold it. And we're going to stretch back into Guru Pranam. So the hands are out in front of you. The bum is on the heels. And we take a really nice big stretch. Splay the fingers out in front of you. Resting the forehead to the floor if comfortable to do so. You may need a block or a cushion if you feel tight. You can open up from the legs as well if you struggle to bring the head to the floor. 3 big deep breaths here. Into the nose, out through the mouth. Taking any rocks in the pelvis here. I sometimes like to rock from side to side to loosen off my back. And then we're going to inhale, coming back up into that cow position and just taking some intuitive moves. So you might want to just rock into one side and then the other, really feeling through the back. You may want to do some figure of eights, coming over the hands and circling back. You may wish to repeat that Sufi grind that we did, the Sufi circles at the beginning, where we did the pelvic circle. So these inhalations, these circular motions, really tapping it into your energy. Breathing deeply into the belly. Exhaling fully out. Just working with your own body and what intuitively feels right for you. And we're going to come back the other way. We'll change directions with whatever you're doing. If you're alternating from side to side, just keep going. Or perhaps you're in a traditional cat-to-cow. And again, just stretching back,
Stretching into that body, walking the fingers forward, forehead to the floor. Big, 3 big inhalations in through the nose, out through the mouth. When you're ready, rising up. We're going to come back into a seated position, and we're just going to do some shoulder shrugs here. Now, you may kind of think of these as being as building these trap muscles here, but we're actually releasing tension in them. So we're going to inhale on the right, and as we raise on the left, we're going to exhale. So we inhale, and then we exhale. So it's this shift between the two shoulders. And again, eyes can be closed, they can be open. Sometimes you get the sense of this internalizing and connecting deeper with the soul of ourselves when our eyes are closed, and really connecting in with this point in between the two brows. Then it's the third eye. The eyes cross over. And really allow for these shoulders to drop. And then we're going to do both together. So we bring them both up, big inhalation. And then out through the mouth. Releasing all tension. One more. And then we breathe in, raise the shoulders, and again, hold suspended breath, squeezing all the way from that root, so squeezing the urinary and the rectum muscles, looking up to that point between the two brows. Then exhale fully out through the mouth. And allow the hands to face resting, palms up. Returning the breath to normal, just connecting in with your own natural breath and flow. Then we're going to be coming into something that's called the lotus bud. And we're going to be doing this with the breath of fire. So this breath of fire is more about the exhalation than the inhalation. So the easiest way to rhythmically feel like you were doing this correctly is to stick the tongue out like a dog. Not everybody gets this the first time. It took me quite a few attempts when I was first learning to do it. So we do this breath pattern like this. And then when you get used to this motion, you can try doing it through the nose, but you may wish to do it just with the tongue out instead. And then we're going to come on to the coccyx. So if you're not comfortable for any reason, you can't go onto the coccyx, then you can just stay with the feet together and allow for the legs to drop either side. Now in this lotus bud position, you ideally, and I can't bring myself up to this, want to have your knees, your elbows and your knees at a 90-degree angle and the feet in line with the chest and the feet together. I'm here. This is my progression. So my pads of my feet are together and I'm raising them off the floor. I'm holding on to my feet. And from here, we do the breath of fire. And this is really symbolic of us being this bud in this life. And then you have the opening blossom as well, like the bud opening, representative of the legs wide and open if you want to. And you prefer, you can go into that position. So find a position that works for you. As I say, if you can bring yourself up here, have the feet in a line. Personally, my right hip doesn't like that position, so I stay here. So I'm on the coccyx, back up nice and tall. And then we're going to do this breath of fire. Okay, we're doing this for 1 minute. Now the eyes are a soft focus out in front of you. So big breath in, let all the air out, and then half breath in, and then pant. So you're really pumping from the navel. And if you wish to try, you can do it through the nose, closing the mouth. And if this is too hard, then you can stick out the tongue. Or if you're menstruating, pregnant, or this breath just doesn't feel right for you, then long, deep breathing. Last 30 seconds. We're going to take a big inhalation. Hold to stem the breath. So we're squeezing rectum and urinary muscles. So hold here. Exhale. Bring the legs out in front of you. Just allowing that energy to redistribute through the body. So hands facing up, body up nice and tall. Then we're going to come into a position which is known in Kundalini Yoga to rest the heart. And this is one of our platform positions. We work in either back platform or front platform, which is known to many as plank. So I'm going to show slight variations on this in the plank position. So you can either do full extension on the hands. So we'd always arch the back towards the ceiling first. So we lock in much like when we did this cat to cow motion. So we're locking in from the tummy. You can step the feet behind, and this would be one of the options here. This is a full extension plank. If this is too much for you, you can drop down onto your knees. And if your wrists don't like this position, you can drop down onto your forearms here. So arching the back, coming in nice and tight. So you're really protecting the back and you're engaging the core. We come up onto the toes. We push the weight forwards, and then imagine we're trying to bring the elbows to the feet and the feet to the elbows. So we've got this lock on, and the body's in this really stiff, straight position. And then from here, you can drop the knees down to the floor. So you can rest it here and keep all that engagement with the elbows coming towards the feet and the feet towards the elbows. And we're putting a breath of fire. So whichever feels right for you. Ready? Let's go. Head and neck are in alignment. If it gets too much, you can drop the knees down. Another 20 seconds. Keep drawing the elbows towards the feet towards the elbows. Big inhalation in. Come to suspend the breath, squeeze. Exhale, and we're going to come into a Sphinx from here. So dropping into the elbows, pushing the feet into the floor, engaging from those thighs, squeezing the bum, and then slightly arching the back to the comfort that's comfortable for you. If this doesn't feel right, just relax the spine, and you can actually bring the body lower to the floor. Alternatively, we're pushing more of that pubic bone into the floor, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs, chin in towards the chest, and long deep breathing here. So inhaling fully into that tummy, exhaling fully. So navel to spine, eyes can be closed or open, your choice. But breathing into this, the majesty of this position is a very grand and strong pose, this one. Squeezing the glutes, squeezing the thighs, pushing the feet into the floor, tummy in. Big breath in. Some breath, squeeze, squeeze everything, squeeze the thighs, feet into the floor. Exhale. Rest the head on the hands and then windshield wipe the legs. So knees bent, and we're just going to windshield wipe the legs. Just releasing any tension from the spine. Big breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Take a big inhalation of breath, pushing back with the hands, coming back again into Guru Pranam, stretching all the way from the base of the coccyx to those fingertips. Big inhalations through the nose, out through the mouth 3 times. Gently using your hands to walk your body up. And then we're coming into another challenging pose. Now with this one, stretch pose, it works the entire body. Again, we're working breath, fire. We're lying flat on our backs. If this is too much for you, then you don't have to do the full postural position. So I'm going to show you what it looks like to begin with, and then I'm going to break it down. So a full stretch pose looks like this. We bring the legs 6 inches off the floor, we push back for the hands and the head, and we do a breath of fire from here. So we really stretch with the fingers, point the toes. So we're really activating all these muscles. Now, if this is too much for you, you may wish to rest the head down on the floor if you feel tension in the head, tension in the neck. You may wish to just raise one leg, and then you can switch if that feels too much for you. Or you may just like to just use one leg, breath of fire, one leg, breath of fire, just the legs rather than bringing. So find what works for you, find what feels right. If it doesn't feel good for you, you can also do this. So both heels come to the floor, sitting upright, so you're on that coccyx, and you can lean back from here and do a breath of fire so you feel this engagement through the core. So you want to make sure the back's up nice and straight. So choosing whatever posture works for you best. Not here to prove ourselves, only improve. So pushing the back into the floor, raising the legs up, point the toes, splay the fingers. So 6 inches off the floor, and then breath of fire. Another 15 seconds just here, then we're going to rest. Rest it down, fully rest. relax into the body. So when we do this stretch pose, it does feel like it's very much about a core exercise. And yes, it does stimulate all these wonderful nodes and meridians at this junction point here, but it's stretching through the body. So try and make the focus of really stretching through your fingers and your toes and less about the abs. And we're just going to do another 30 seconds when you're ready to come up. And you can really, if you need to take rests in between, take rests. It's your own body. You can build this up. Another 10. Inhalation. Suspend the breath. Hold it. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Exhale, rest it down. You need to, if you have any tension in the spine, bring the knees into a bent position, take them wider than your mat and drop the knees together. Totally releasing the spine. Taking a moment here to let that energy go where it needs to flow. These moves are designed to poke and provoke you. They give us this ability to be able to see the solutions in life. Life feels less of a hurdle, less of a mountain to climb, and know that these things always happen for us for growth. Just like when we're doing these positions and we're improving our strength, stamina, very much applies to our lives and how we deal with things on a mental, emotional level too. So bringing the knees in towards the body, we're going to do a couple of rock and rolls on the spine. You may wish to just turn onto your side, just to fix the massage through the spine. And then we're gently going to transition here into a standing position. So I like to come up after we've done a triangle pose. You can just come to a standing position. So I'm just going to hook my toes underneath, bend the knees deeply, push the tummy into the thighs, push to the knuckles on the hands, and then really straighten the arms so that the biceps are forwards, triceps behind, ears between the biceps, and gently, gently pedal through the legs. Inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth. Then inhale, stepping the feet towards the hands towards the feet. Exhale here, let the head and neck hang. Deeply bend the legs if you need to. Just releasing any tension from the spine, swaying the hips from side to side. And then inhale, half lift, so flat back, shoulder blades together, chin in towards the chest. Feel that lengthening in the spine. Exhale, allow the knees to bend again. And then inhale, big opening of the arms, overhead. Slight arch back if comfortable to do so. Engage the core and the glutes. Take the back. Exhale. Hands and prayer. Chest. Nice good breath in here. I love this connection into the heart. And then we're going to come into prayerful archer. I love this move. So we inhale in horse stance. The weight's going back into the heels, toes forward. You can have the toes slightly facing it. But we want to put a good pressure on these thighs so we can feel it going through here. And then we exhale into archer. So I'm pivoting on the toes. This foot stays turned out. You can bring it all the way around if it feels more comfortable for you to come into more of a lunge position here. Or you can remain here. So we exhale in this position. So really archer, strong warrior. And then we inhale, prayerful. And this always reminds me of that saying, the warrior and the sage. It's like the warrior position is in this archer where we show strength in life. But coming back into this inhale position, remembering this connection with the peaceful soul, the sage. Exhale. In. And just flow with your own rhythm of breath in. Really bending into the legs. Working breath with movement. And then we're going to transition this into a prayerful archer. So it's almost like we're connecting with the stars here as we breathe in and squat down into a deep horse stance. And then we transition to still the same pivot, straight back, exhale. Giving gratitude and thanks. Inhale. Big expansive inhale. Maybe stretching into that body glove. Exhale. Prayerful, we take the bow back nice and straight. So much like when we do this Om Namo Buddhadeva Namo. This position reminds me of this gratitude and bowing towards this eternal wisdom within our life and within all living creation. Just being careful when we do this pivot on the hips. And we're not coming too far over the knee. Back's nice and straight. Locks one each side. And we're going to take a big inhalation to the center. Hold to spend the breath. Splay the fingers, drawing this energy all the way up from the roots. So squeezing, really squeezing from the rectum, urinary, stretching up. And then we exhale down. Legs stay wide. And we bring the hands in front of the chest. Just millimeters apart, not touching. Eyes closed. Breathing naturally. Feeling the polarity between the two palms. This yin and yang energy, this feminine and masculine that lives within us all. Feeling this connection, this balance. Some people prefer to think of this as the sun and the moon energy. When you're ready, we're going to come down into a comfortable seated position. You may wish to sit on a cushion. And then we're going to be doing something slightly different, and we're going to do the Shavasana at the end today. So we're going to do this seated meditation mantra position. So much like we did in the beginning of today's class where we did this. We're going to use the same wow, turning all darkness into light. But we're going to be cupping our hands like this, placing them at the ears and doing this. So we're creating this little vacuum. And as we breathe in, we say, wow. And then good. On the exhale, the eyes are closed and they're rolled up towards the point between the two brows, known as the third eye. So when we do this closed eyes and it's crossing, we're stimulating through the voice as well, not just the parathyroid, the thyroid, the vibration of the sound through the palate of the mouth, but we're actually coming into the hypothalamus, the pituitary, and the pineal. So we're doing this, so the hands keep moving throughout. The eyes closed, rolled up to here. We're guru on the exhale. Guru. 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 It's wa on the inhalation. Guru. Sort of guru. Guru. Keep the hands going. Guru. 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 Last 30 seconds. Guru. 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 Big inhalation on the wall. Hold suspend this breath. Bring the palms down to the heart. Keep them at chest level, not touching. Exhale. Let the breath return to normal. Be aware of the sensations, the energy around the ears, the head, the hands. Connecting with what is your natural energy field. There's known as the electromagnetic field. So the auric field, this life force that surrounds all living life and existence. Taking a moment of silence to connect in with this energy. This awareness, this recognizing, this recognition of you in your entirety as an energy being. As a light being in this experiential suit in this life, this time of existence. Breathing normally. Bring the right hand to the chest and then the left eye still closed. Connecting in with the heart. Perhaps feeling the beats of your heart under your hand. Connecting in with your life force. Your heart matrix that connects your life as one. Center of everything. When you're ready, just finding a comfortable lying position for you. You may wish to remain seated if you want to. Bring any blankets when you think you feel like you need, if you feel cold. You can lie with feet separated, with knees dropping in together, if comfortable to do so. Or lie with the legs straight. Breathing in, exhaling out. Just releasing any tension from the body. Relaxing the toes, the feet, being aware of any tension in the feet, the muscles, just your toes, a little bit of a wiggle. Relaxing the ankles, the calves, the thighs, the knees. Feeling this deep relaxation traveling up into the pelvis. Letting go of any tension created here, any tension in the pelvic region, the tummy muscles. Letting this relaxation energy like a current travel up, nurturing, nourishing, loving and healing as it travels all the way from your toes, all the way up the body. Now spilling into the tummy itself, the base of your diaphragm, your ribs, your back, and the coccyx up now to the back of the rib cage, the chest, across the chest into the shoulders, the backs of the shoulders. The tops of the shoulders flowing down the arms. You may wish to put a colour to this healing energy, perhaps gold or white, or whatever feels right for you. Trickling down the biceps, the triceps, the fronts and backs of the arms, into the joints of the elbows, the forearms, the wrists, all the muscles in the hands, all the joints in the hands, all the way down to the fingertips. Up into the back of the neck, head, spilling over the skull into the facial muscles, releasing all tension from the skull. Deeply releasing tension from the temples, the eyes, cheeks, the jaw. Feel the jaw completely relax. Feeling this complete and utter sense of relaxation, nourishment, nurturing, love, healing throughout your entire being, not just your body, but out into your energy field, which you've experienced today. This recognition of what is the human, the hue, which means light, and the man, that means projection. The very meaning of the word human, light, projection. And when you're ready, if you're lying on the floor, take a big stretch through the body. If you're seated, just take a stretch overhead. Stretch your fingers. Maybe stretch through the chest, the back, whatever feels nice for you. Taking a twist through the spine. So cat stretch if you're on the floor. If seated, taking a rotation. Taking the shoulder. And then comes the other side. Then resting the palms facing up on the thighs, eyes closed. Taking a moment here to be truly grateful for life and existence. Not just your own, but honoring this connection to all life. And not just human life, all life and existence. Placing both hands on the heart, giving gratitude to yourself for making this time for you, honoring your life and this existence and the lives of others. May you always be guided by the light. Bring the palms together as we get ready to close out with a long sat and a short nam, which means truth is my identity. We place the thumbs at the sternum, elbows splayed out, and resting on the rib cage, whichever is more comfortable for you. Big inhalation of breath into the tummy. Exhale out, eyes closed. Inhale in to begin. Sa. Taking a bow forwards, allowing for all this beautiful energy to circulate. Doing a bow in gratitude.
bowing before that eternal wisdom within all creation. And then inhale, gently lifting up the head. I bless the good in you. I bless the good in me. I bless the good in all, for your light is all I see. Sat Nam. Love and blessings to all.